Super influencer in the world right now will be Elon Musk, Baba of all influencers. Commenting is easy, but some of them are lucky, some of them have become very famous. People randomly share opinions, but people rarely share, their thoughts, ideas. There is difference between thoughts, ideas, and just having the opinion. They are like super elitist, super powerful people who are influencers. Basically, we Indians fall for anything that is emotional content.
Do you want to be a social media influencer, sir?
Nobody starts as becoming a social influence. It's basically society lifts them up. Society gives them that role.
So do you feel this new people coming, new influencers, this is just extension of the left, right or divided media in the country?
So it's a tragedy in India that there are no good role models nowadays. I mean, there are in sports some exceptions in entertainment industry. Literally nobody in politics.
Gandhi ji statues there, they will go and cry and Mahatma Gandhi ji kya ho gaya, what happened to the country. Everybody can see that that is fake. In this context, these are demigods. Whatever they are saying, people are madly following.
The social media and you are affecting your own health. There is large scale unemployment.
You go to Phoenix Mall, you go outside mall, hundreds of people are just creating reels.
There is one guy Dhruv Rathi, right? So he is in favor of one party. In fact, he tried to influence entire Lok Sabha elections.
So counter to this, I'm stopping you. Today at Beyond the Headlines, I want to talk something very interesting. Social media influencers. Bhuvan Bam, Ranveer Alabadia, Raj Shamani, Anjali Arora, Sandeep Maheshwari, Carrie Minati, Andrew Tate, Kim Kardashian. The list is endless and they are influencing us. Is this influencing good for the society or it is disrupting or destroying the society? That is what we will talk in today's podcast. And I have with me Vinay Sir, who will again take my questions. Namaskara, sir. So we'll talk about this particular issue again in detail. Not again, for the first time we are talking. Earlier also we have gone into many facets related to it. So sir, first of all, I've spoken about a lot of influencers. And if I see your social media page, you are also becoming or you are an influencer. So you might disagree to it, but as the popularity increases, and if do you want to be a social media influencer, sir?
I think nobody starts as becoming a social influencer. It's basically society lifts them up. Society gives them that role. Society gives them that status because over a period of time, what happens? Many followers start liking the content that these people are posting, whether it is podcast, whether it is their opinion, whether it is their opinion on what people should wear, what they are wearing, whatever it is, right? So uh, then they will have very loyal fan following, and then the beauty of social media is the content gets shared and it gets amplified and then they become influencers. It is not that I want to become influencer. I think there may be people who are trying to do that, to become influencer, but I'm not sure how many of them succeed. But in my case, no, my social media has a different role, I think. So basically, the work we are doing on the field, the work we are doing in the institution, we are just putting there, just to inform the people that no, we are active, we are proactive, we are doing these stuff. So it is not that I'm putting my opinions or I'm sharing certain or I'm trying to influence anyone. So the future we never know. But for now, I'm not.
Sir, I've done multiple podcasts with you, and there are two common things which come. You talk about Ambedkar, sir. Also, what is happening with Ambedkar? That's a separate topic. I can't go there right now. But what I want to know is that you talk about equality, you talk about education. Do you feel that these influencers from the background they come, they are democratizing the digital media?
Uh, Democratization, definitely it has happened. So with respect to social media in India, so what is my thought is that, I think social media came to India at that point when the Indian society was not ready for it, when the Indian society was not prepared for it,
Why do you say that?
because the education was not available. So there is difference between thoughts, ideas, and just having your opinion, right? So people randomly share opinion, but people rarely share, their thoughts, ideas, right? So there is no depth to it. There is no understanding. So what is happening is the things have become superficial. The reason I'm talking about it is that the vast majority of the society was uneducated. It's still kind of uneducated, but suddenly you have a social media where people and people with opinions or people who have become influencers, they are mostly, I think, decently well educated, and so their words carry weight, right? So suddenly these people have become so powerful because the society is still backward, and educationally, and also otherwise also it is backward. So suddenly, they've got like instantly, like, millions of followers and all. But contrastingly, in America, there is educated people, and there is people like Joe Rogan and others, Tucker Carlson and all. Even he has become influencer on Twitter, right? So there is another phenomenon. But within America, what I have read, like whenever I read articles related to that, the people who, for example, Joe Biden called them, garbage, right? The people who are following, people like Joe Rogan, even recently Elon Musk and all.
The result has made them garbage, sir.
Yeah. So they are like super elitist, super powerful people who are influencers. See, relatively, it is same as in India. It is just like, the degree is more, visible here. I mean, the backwardness and all. Relatively, the concept which we have, like relative poverty. So the phenomenon is same, I think. So that these people are capitalizing. And when that social media came, we were all like new toy. Everyone got into Facebook. So I think Facebook has highest subscribers in India, highest followers. So same with the Instagram. And Instagram capitalized when the TikTok got banned, and they suddenly came with the reels, and So I think there are so many things.
Sir, do you think, like, if I see YouTube videos, I say Ranveer Rabadia, Raj Shamani, and all this, there is a set pattern which is coming, and it goes to your education part. The set pattern is that two, three good educated content, then lot of mythological content. I'm not against it, but mythological content, then lot of jadoo and all this, and black magic and everything, and sensationalization of podcast is happening, in which more people are interested and they are shown this. And third, even politics has entered, which they are trying to become power brokers, in the sense that we have influencers who are against the government, who are for the government. And if you're asking me, tell me, Sanjay, one neutral. I've not seen a neutral influencers.
Dhruv Rathi, like there is one guy Dhruv Rathi, right? So he is in favor of one party. Like,
Yes.
in fact, he tried to influence entire Lok Sabha elections.
And maybe he might have influenced, I don't know. But sir, this is happening, and even CEOs have entered now. So CEOs are coming and they're talking about their company. What do you think about this entire trend? I feel when you see the American podcast and other podcasts, is the content and knowledge there higher compared to us, or we their content is also useless or very low, and our also is very low? What do you think about it? Will we improve in our content, or this you say magic and everything will continue?
So basically, we Indians, you know, uh, fall for anything that is emotional content that has sensationalism within it. So that these people are again capitalizing. That is a kind of content.
Right.
So when you try to polarize, when you try to put someone in a negative light, right? So the emotions are easily stoked. So that kind of content is something that these people are creating, and mostly it is unfortunately superficial, right? So there are people who talk in depth about certain issues. There is a very objective analysis of the issues, right? So I mean, for example, those who used to be part of NDTV, or in some cases the print, or there are other independent media organizations, people who used to be there, they're actually active through podcasts and YouTube podcast and also other audio. So but they have lesser following compared to these people. So content wise, it is definitely not thoughtful, but it is agenda driven.
Yes,
And
that's what I'm talking.
they also have certain aspiration, and I think it is not conspiracy. I think some of them may be paid, We never know. And in fact, see, influencer means you are going to be paid. When it comes to celebrity influencers, so they get paid to endorse certain products, endorse certain people. So I think that, in fact, I had tweeted about it, right? After the US election, I had tweeted that in the future, these influencers are going to become powerful section of the society.
Correct, correct.
They are going to be very powerful. So they are entering that political territory slowly in India right now, right? So once they start entering, political arena and start gaining traction, so then it is going to, the thing you mentioned, whether it is going to destroy society or disrupt society. I think that it is not going to destroy or disrupt. The society is already fractured. They're just going to deepen it. They're just going to capitalize on it.
So, sir, last podcast you spoke about that Neera Radia tapes and everything. That journalists used to manage governments. Okay, the top media houses. So now top media houses have gone in the backyard. I feel the media houses' new extension is these new media influencers. So they might be single in nature, but since people follow them, they're influencing in larger numbers. So media has gone that standard print and the electronic media, because people, for example, if you're listening to for Arnab Goswami, Barkha Dutt or anyone, people already have a perceived notion, okay, he's left, he's right. And now it is shifting. Now new influencers are coming. They are inviting people from different spectrum, from the left and right. But they know what they want to show, because editing eventually is in their hands. So do you feel this new people coming, new influencers, this is just extension of the left, right or divided media in the country?
See, ultimately, politics in India, what it requires is masses. Their view, their action, their words, whatever it is, it should reach maximum masses. So earlier, the media people were like hand in glove with the politicians. It is not a secret. There is nothing called independent media or independent journalist. So they were given instructions. I think they were hand in glove with the politicians, and they were doing their job. And then they were either beneficiaries of the government or victims of the government. Either way, they wanted to be for or against, right? So as an extension of it, the social media has taken place. I mean, it is entering those spaces. And last time also we spoke of Elon Musk is saying you are the media, right? It is not just influencer. He's also trying to say that even an individual is also powerful with his opinion that should be given importance on social media. So these influencers are definitely going to make money, and I don't think they are going to be objective, and they are going to do it with the purpose of helping Indian politics or helping Indian society. At the end of the day, I think they will also come in contact with powerful politicians, or
So
they start manipulating
so do
people.
you think the polarization among these influencers is already happening, or it will happen? Okay.
If the elections are going on regularly, then definitely it is happening.
Okay. So, sir,
On smaller scale, I have seen this, I've experienced.
yes, yes.
So if it is at a constituency level, it happens. If there is a local YouTuber, right? They do it.
So, sir, if it has reached at the local level, it is already at the national and the state level.
It just looks, for an ordinary people, it looks objective, and it looks, it is all, what do you say, like very honest,
Yes, yes.
not staged and all.
Yeah.
But I think
So the questions are framed like this, that only positive answers will come. That is the way it is. And so I think that is the reason it is going on. So moving a little bit from here, so this is about what is happening in politics. This is about what is happening in society. I want to ask about what about obscenity which has come, sir. A lot of obscenity is available on Instagram. The kind of influences have come from male to female. What's your thought process on that? That the social media and influencing, I feel that it should be helpful to the society to grow. So the obscenity which is coming in the videos, do you agree with it? Do you have a thought process? No, it is an open-minded society. Everything should be allowed. What's your take on this, sir?
see, the very meaning of obscenity is something that is not acceptable. Right?
Do you agree it is happening on social media, on Instagram or other platforms?
I haven't seen per se,
Right.
but I have heard.
Yes.
Like there are reports in media, there are articles that I've read in magazines that is becoming a trend, right?
Correct.
So I think the problem with Indian society is that there is always a section of society which says, Jai Ho. I mean, which accepts such kind of uh,
Lingo.
behavior or whatever it is, right? So obscenity in terms of words or in terms of visuals, either way, I think that is being accepted, right? So I mean, last time we talked about, the Indian society, in kind of churning and some kind of transition that is happening. So the youth in villages, they don't have jobs nowadays, right? So the social media is giving two options: become a consumer or become a contributor, right? So the consumer, I mean, you are not contributing, I mean, contributing to the growth of the company, the social media, and you are affecting your own health. But there is large scale unemployment. I don't believe in these figures like 6%, 8%, 15%. Absolutely don't believe. If you go to any village, there are 60-70% unemployed youth in villages. So if 100 people are graduating in a village, 80 people are not getting the job. So then they get into this disguised unemployment and, so other manual jobs. So they have lots of free time, and internet is available, smartphone minimum thing is available. So they spend time on social media, and unfortunately what happens, so you develop tastes differently at different stages of your life, right? So if you love literature, I mean, and if you have the habit of reading, then you will listen to podcasts that talks about literature. So if you're prepared for UPSC, you would be interested in knowing geopolitics, technology, environment, economics, something like that. In addition to entertainment, it is not that you are not watching entertainment, but what happens here, the entertainment is the major factor. Like you are always tuned into entertainment. So I think obscenity is has become part of entertainment. In OTT, we are seeing openly in movies. So it is being done. So they say that it is reflection of the reality of the society, which I agree with. Basically, that is what happens in the society. Unfiltered way, they are showing it. Whether it should be allowed or not.
So, counter to this, I'm stopping you. So, reality in society is all of these. There is a good part of the society which is developing, which is reading. Why that is not shown, sir? Because that will not fetch views.
Because large chunk of society is still, it's not relatable to them, right? It is aspirational. So that to breed that aspiration, you also become, somebody who loves literature, official like. It becomes difficult to relate. I'm talking from the perspective. It is not that I have contempt for anything. I'm talking about the reality. Seen even day before yesterday, I was in a village. I visited 10 government schools. Not just visited, we spent 1.5 hours. So around 10 hours with the 10 uh, government schools. We interacted with the students. So I was so pained to see that those students eventually end up unemployed.
You said not police, but IPS.
So that is why I also that was just a short clip. I said when you create an aspiration, I don't want everyone to become IAS, IPS. It is just the ambition.
Correct.
So I told you have to start reading newspapers, one regional, one English. Then start reading literature. Right. To become this, you have to start doing this at this age. You have to start loving books. You have to start reading books. So I believe if they start reading books, half the problem is solved. Somewhere, they self-discover their potential, and sanskar, thoda sa, that will also get built in once you start, reading good literature. So that is the intention. But many of them don't know what is IPS. They keep saying police, police, police. The constable.
Is this because of Singham? That movie or Bollywood movie?
But that is there, but they again don't know the difference, right? So the students in 7th, 8th, 9th standard. The social media, what it is doing is that it is not educating people. It is not creating awareness, right? So it wants to create another type of awareness, when it comes to movies or politics, but not what is useful to the society. They cannot enter movie industry. They cannot become politicians. There are so many other options in society. So that is not empowering.
Sir, if I take the crux of it, so I'm sure you have heard of this, that religion is the biggest opium for masses. Now religion has been changed by social media and all this. So I'll give you an example, sir. One of my students, he was from Jharkhand. So the neighbors, so he has these neighboring kids. So he used to ask, "What do you want to become?" So they were, I think, around in sixth class or eighth class, and they used to say that I want to become an influencer, and within 2 years I will have a Lamborghini. Because these people, from Carrie Minati to everyone, for example, Carrie Minati he started his videos by abusing, and it became world popular. Now I think he's the biggest YouTuber of the country, and obviously the content has changed. So these people are not only influencers, so these are idols. People, for example, when D Kukesh is coming to India, see the number of people following, and compare this with Elvish Yadav or other influencers. So these people are like demigods, sir. demigods influencing, and whatever they say about an actress or an actor or about India, it makes a difference. For example, Diljit Dosanjh, if he does not put an India map, we all know what happened on X. So in this context, these are demigods. Whatever they are saying, people are madly following. Is this the problem of the society, the dilapidation of society? Because again, they don't study, or they are not following books. How do we resolve it? Because influencing will increase. Now it is people want to become YouTuber. I want to become, and there is no problem in becoming a YouTuber. Problem is that what kind of YouTuber you want to become. For example, we always ask, why do you want to become an IAS officer? So why do you want to become a YouTuber? Because I want to get popularity, money, and all these things. And focus is someone who got. But these influencers are one in millions, sir. And that has become the goal of majority of. You go to Phoenix Mall, you go outside mall, hundred of people are just creating reels. I'm not against this, but I don't know where are they heading.
Everyone wants to be in focus. Everyone wants to be famous nowadays. Everyone wants to be on social media. I am not an exception. Even I want to be that, because otherwise nobody recognizes, nobody notices. That is the world we are living in. But there is a boundary. There are certain things, right? I think social media etiquettes. Coming to your point, it is purely because of backwardness. It's purely because of, it is also shown as somebody can make quick money. And these influencers have started courses on
Yes,
Instagram,
yes,
the master classes,
yes,
right?
yes.
So to make you another, they don't want competition, but they know that people buy, people don't follow it. So mint money, in any way possible.
The expensive courses, sir.
Acha, I don't know the rate.
So these courses are for 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 5,000. It starts from 5,000 to 25,000, 30,000, and there is no job guarantee after that course. Like nobody knows that you will become, big famous personality.
So it's a tragedy in India that there are no good role models nowadays. I mean, there are in sports, some exceptions in entertainment industry, literally nobody in politics, right? And literature, of course, there are people, but their numbers are dwindling, diminishing, the role models. So people, these influencers are becoming role models. So not because these people subscribe to their idea or ideology, it is because, as you said, demigod, they see that what they want to become in them. So I think that is why they have this huge reverence for these people. And the danger of this is that the society will become more polarized, and these individuals, having got the power to influence lakhs of people, maybe in the future crores of people, so I don't think they'll be objective, right? Once they know that they are powerful, right, in this way, so they join the hands with the even more powerful people, because their next step is to become even more powerful.
Yes.
Right, there is going to be some kind of alliance, so they come together, and they've already manipulated masses.
Do you think influencing is new? Or, for example, if we go to modern India, from Jawaharlal Nehru to Mahatma Gandhi, these were also kind of influencers. Do you believe that that technology has just magnified it? So these were also influencers, and technology just now is making more.
Absolutely, there is no comparison with them, because the early influencers were doers. They used to act, they used to go to field and do work. These influencers are what?
Studio room, audio, and cameras.
So basically, they have a talent for words, and maybe talent for bit of acting or something. So they don't do things, right? So they keep commenting. Commenting is easy, but some of them are lucky, some of them have become very famous. Maybe they are good at asking questions, good at engaging people. Definitely they have a skill, I'm not denying that. But their influence is coming from the fact that uh, because of how the social media functions, right? So you have opinion, it can reach thousands of people instantly. So it was not like that, no, at the time. They had to work, toil, and then newspaper, if they are covered, right, then only masses would come to know. Okay, it was word of mouth and conventional newspaper. So what is it doing is that there are, I think, thousands of good people who are not able to come to platforms like this, and their voice is lost, their wisdom is lost, and And it's an unfortunate tragedy, I think.
Sir, I want to know that.
For example, I'll give an
Sure,
example.
sure, sir.
Like, so in Karnataka, we had Girish Karnad, U.R.
Yes,
Ananthamurthy,
yes, yes.
great literary figures. And then there was Kuvempu, right? I mean, he was the tallest of all, right? So his works, I think, would have won Nobel Prize easily. They were translated back then into English. So we don't have videos of them, many videos of them, right? So I like, I mean, when I look at interview of some people nowadays, one or two rare videos which we get of these people, when you read their work, I mean, there is so much depth, so much wisdom, right? Whatever these people are saying, everything, diluted version of taken from all these sources, right? Sometimes we also do that. So I am not a wise people, right? But such kind of voices were not documented. There are, I think, people still like them, right? Like 60s, 70s, 80s. So if they come, to social media and the present generation listens to them, I think it can be countered, but I don't think it's a possibility in this country.
Sir, I also want to know that three famous people from the past that you think that should be the examples to be set in terms of they should be influencers and you should follow them. And I want at least one person from political class, contemporary political class, which you say that Sanjay, he or she comes closest to what I want.
So from the past, say I keep watching Jiddu Krishnamurthy videos. Like fortunately, his videos were recorded because he delivered his talks mostly in the US and other Western countries. So they were there. Like him, So I think, for example, Ram Manohar Lohia, right? So I searched. There are no videos. There are no speeches. There are because his thoughts were really good. Some of them are outdated, but the most of the thoughts were really good. So I wanted to hear from them, right? So Jay Prakash Narayan, for example. And from the politics today, I think there is another Jay Prakash Narayan, so who experimented, I think, Lok Satta Party in Andhra Pradesh. So he won many times. I haven't heard his speeches much, so I haven't come across. So I think such people should come and talk more often, become influencers. So I think he's one contemporary politician. I am not going to take names from any major mainstream parties. I don't think anybody has that kind of.
Okay, so the names you've taken, they have I should say, left of the center or socialism point of view. I also want to know that the one politician or one particular person which you do not agree with his view, but still you like him, that okay, I don't agree with your views, but you are trying to put your 100% effort in you know influencing the people in your own way for your own wishes. Who would that be? You might totally disagree with him or agree partially with him,
See,
not necessarily a politician.
in India, like, I keep searching, honestly, right? So the thing is, I expect lots of depth in their talk. So I'm not a wise person. I want to become wise. So, but I have got this taste, like I want the talk should be very thoughtful, thought provoking. New perspectives should be there when they speak something. Um, right now, I don't know. Like honestly, I'm not getting any name. Do you have any name?
No.
I mean, who can speak like that in politics, basically?
Sir, no, I don't know.
So one of them is like Shashi Tharoor is there, right?
Okay, I was just so for example, sir, not necessarily politics, but I do like listening to external affairs minister when he talks about IR. I have a personal interest in it, and he has a very different depth and understanding of it. Obviously, 35 years of service. So that point of view, I really like. And certain times I'm listening to speakers which I'm not aware of. They're coming as experts in their field from medical and everything. One, I am not aware of their names, but they're very good. So I think Jayashankar sir, I really like listen to him when he's not talking about the political party, when he's talking about international geopolitics. It's good to listen to him, sir. You were saying something about Shashi Tharoor. He is also wonderful to listen, no doubt about it.
I mean, compared to others, I think so. I've read his works, so that is why I have respect for him. So I've heard his debates, like those Oxford debates, certain talks on certain issues. But what happens once they become politician? No, They have to subscribe to certain views, and even against their conscience, they have to defend certain. So then what happens? Then it becomes shallow, right? So you don't have strong reasons to basically, support uh, or substantiate your views. So I think it happens with most of the politicians, and uh, like I have seen few Vajpayee videos also, right? So really good.
So one of the Vajpayee videos which I really like is that I'll say that line in Hindi and I'll again say it in English कि पार्टियां आएंगी और पार्टियां जाएंगी पर देश आगे बढ़ते रहना चाहिए. That the parties will come and go but the countries will move. Sir, I find that line very moving.
Yes.
And I've done a lot of discussion with you, and when you talk about education, equality, and the country should move forward, that is the essence which we get.
Yeah. So one individual, like from past, if you say Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So I have heard only one BBC interview. In fact, I was searching. I got one BBC interview. So where I think it is like 6-7 minutes video. I think so. That was the first time I heard him, and that is one individual, like one personality from the past. I think people like them should be influencers right now, currently, and India needs people like them. People who are intellectual, and people who have like deep concern for the society, who have deep understanding of society, and people who can see through things, people who have been through experiences. So I think such kind of individuals should be given space in politics, and more than politics, influencers. They should become influencers. So I think they are getting submerged, in the overwhelming, whatever names you mentioned. They have become so dominant now.
So when you talk about B.R. Ambedkar, furor is going over in Parliament over him. I feel that people wants to use his legacy. Both sides, specifically, left of the center has been using it more, and now even the right uses that they wants to use his legacy, and that we stand with the Constitution, we stand with B.R. Ambedkar. This is my personal opinion. I can be 100% wrong. I can vouch that most of the top leaders who wants to claim his legacy, they have not even read that book about him. 100% nahi padhi hogi, sir. They have not read this book. So they just want to claim him for political votes, sir. Nothing else. They are not reading about him, because if they read about him, the thought process of the leaders will automatically change.
See, if you have read his work, he was dead against both the parties which are dominant today, and he was dead against one particular party, which is claiming him now, right now, which is trying to defend him, right? So, I mean, that is the irony, right? I mean, that's what we started with the discussion: educational backwardness, and such idiots have entered, legislature. Recently, numbers have become more important, not the members. So you just have numbers in the parliament, and those numbers just follow one or two leaders of their party, whatever they order, so they just do it. So everything has gone down. So people indulge in fight in parliaments, in legislature. It is happening. The words they speak, right, they don't have
Yesterday
meaning.
also it happened.
It is obscene. Forget about social media influence. The parliament is the biggest influencing platform in the country. So there you see legislatures. So this obscenity. So I mean, it's all, everything is against Baba Sahib Ambedkar's idea of India, and the vision.
So, sir, yesterday I saw a video once this happened. So, the Delhi's main party, a video was being made, and so it's an AI video. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is coming, and a song is playing, and he is giving his ashirwad and blessings to the current CM, and then it says that how he's working. This is the gimmick which is going on. I'm not saying that they are the only ones to do it, but everyone is just trying to claim him that B.R. Ambedkar means Constitution. We are the legal representatives of the Constitution. Please vote for us.
See, for that awakening is needed, at the
Awakening will come from education.
That's what he only said, no? Educate, organize, agitate. So, at the ground level, at the bottom level, at the grassroots level, a strong awakening is required. So that awakening somewhere, again, that is getting affected by the social media influence. You want to get that awakening, you want to be enlightened. Suddenly, that is coming from the social media.
So when you talk about awakening and agitation, you're talking about that agitation which harasses people, which we have seen in Delhi, or you're talking about agitation?
I'm talking about appropriation of the legacy of these great people. Claiming that
How will that happen, sir?
we have to go on foot, travel, go to rural masses.
But sir, masses are not interested in this. Masses are interested in creating reels and getting instant validation.
No, it is just that we haven't created that space, that atmosphere. So this is occupying. So for example, I did Padayatra.
Yes.
So when I was going, the people were coming and listening my speeches, and they were getting influenced. How would I get 42,000 votes without influencing through our words? Right. So there was no money involved. There was no marketing. There was no election consultancy agency. Nothing. Went, spoke, and the most of the literally all of them are the youth who have voted, right? So I think that is what is required. I mean, more people more people with good intention should get into politics. People who are well read, not educated, who are well read, who are sensitive, who are sensitized. Right. I think they should come in more numbers. I think kind of a counter force. So within parties or outside parties, that kind of force needs to be created. So then they will be able to balance things. Now it is getting off balance. With social media is totally ruining everything, right? And they are becoming demigods, heroes, and I mean, that's totally wrong. And wrong people are entering the parliament. So if you want to save democracy, if you want to save freedom, if you want to bring or stop further inequality. I'm not talking about bridging inequality. Stop further, deepening inequality. I think you need a kind of counter force should come from,
But that counter force will eventually also need social media to take it to the masses.
Yeah, of course. Now, what is happening? There are people sitting in studio without going there, influencing. What I'm talking, people who are working on the ground using the social media should create that.
For that, sir, intent is required. In our country, I keep saying in the class that the major problems is that even if the executive agencies are there, there is no political will to make it happen. Political will, I feel, it is there when the political party wants it to work. Otherwise, political will is lacking.
See, all the business people have become lawmakers. Priorities there.
So that is irrespective of the party when you say business.
Yeah, that's what. I'm not talking about any one party. So that is the preference.
Right.
Maximizing profit for their own businesses, not to worry for the society, do something for the society. So there is lack of political will. There is strong business will, right, from their perspective. So this has become a major trend nowadays, and the parties are giving tickets to whom? Business people are daughters and children of relatives of the existing business politicians. So, and we keep, I mean, it's a ridiculous, these people holding Ambedkar photo.
Sir, they cry. I don't know. You've seen that video. Every time on Gandhi Jayanti, that video comes that the Gandhiji statue is there. They will go and cry. And Mahatma Gandhi ji, kya ho gaya? What happened to the country? Everybody can see that that is fake, but they still keep doing it again and again because they want to be in the news. They claim to be following the values of Gandhi, but the party leaders are having bungalows and they're having Ferraris. When did Gandhiji had Ferrari? And how did these people buy Ferrari? Anyway, sir, coming to the last few questions, one question which keep coming is that an aspirant, so when he wants to start his journey, so which newspaper he takes, the Hindu or the Indian Express, because both have some inclinations. First. Second, if he goes on YouTube, for example, if he starts following Dhruv Rathi, then one problem arises. If he starts following a right-wing person, one problem. How does he navigate this journey of newspaper and navigate the journey of social media, trying to get balanced opinion, because he would be influenced, he or she?
See, first I think these people should develop interests, different diverse interests, like interest in artificial intelligence, interest in quantum computing, interest in climate science, climate change, interest in semiconductor, logistics, whatever it is, different interest, I think. So without developing interest, what happens when you are randomly going through these YouTube or reels? So you always get attracted to the entertainment. So you are giving time, you are giving attention, you are contributing to their profit. Many people don't know that. The moment they scroll, they have contributed something to the product, because there are so many advertisers, they pay Instagram or YouTube, they come in, we don't even notice them, the number of them. If you're scrolling 10 reels, there are like 2 to 3 advertisements, right? So even if you just spent a few seconds on that, right? So they have to pay here. So there are wonderful YouTube channels, very informative, absolutely no nonsense, right? So we have to subscribe to them. So we have to go through them. Like I don't know if I can show my mobile. So if I just open my YouTube, can I get my mobile? If I just open YouTube, show the kind of videos that come, right? This is blank now, right? So the flow of information, Nova Harari, right? Accelerating scientific discovery with AI, right? Chip War 2, Geoffrey Hinton on working with Ilya, choosing problems and the power of, and then Ivan Harari, Jiddu Krishnamurti is there.
Okay. TEDx and all
Do
these.
electrons actually exist?
So I'll just take the name of the channel so that it helps them.
Yeah. The name of the channel, like there is one Star Talk,
Start off.
right? There is Lucasfilm, Indian Express has their own. And there is World Knowledge Forum. World Knowledge Forum.
There are multiple channels like this, sir, which are very good.
A big thing. There is
Big.
another, just like TED, there is another like big thing.
Sir, there is one very good channel. Think School is also there. Think School is also good.
So like you don't see entertainment videos. See, Reid Hoffman, Bill Gates on possibility, AI and humanity, embedded learning. So then there are like Stanford videos, Krishnamurti Foundation, Economics Explained, 2024 Nobel Prize in
Which is the channel, sir?
Economics Explained. It has got 1.3 million views. To Nobel Prize in Economics Explained. Right. I mean, it depends on your interest.
Yes, you will find good channels if you want.
There are. It is not like the thing is vast majority are interested in rubbish. So if you're interested in good stuff, there are the algorithms work that way, right? So I think we have to develop it. So my suggestion to aspirants is that develop interest. Again, it is so useful in interview and diverse topics like literature, architecture, music, whether it is there in their DAF or not, right? Like geopolitics, economics, technology, the breakthroughs in technology, right? So they should be able to talk about them. So my suggestion, anybody who is educated, whether you're UPSC aspirant or not, develop interest. I think there is equally good content. So I think when we were talking, we were also kind of biased because the questions were like, right? I think within Instagram, as I said, they are hidden, right? Hidden gems. Within YouTube, there are hidden things. So if we develop quality interest, I think slowly they will come up and then they will also become more prominent. So I think that is how we can, another way to counter this wrong things, I think.
Sir, moving towards the last thoughts from you on this, that where are we heading now in the terms of social media influencers? Will they become eventually so powerful you're talking about that they will be the power brokers to everything, or will there would be also the movement which you're talking about from the ground, it might come, which will counter them, or good influence?
So it is inevitable. They are going to become very powerful and they are going to dictate terms and they are going to decide electoral outcomes. They are going to become part of power brokers. They are going to become part of the power circles. It is going to happen. Definitely it is going to happen because technology, right? It is deciding our very thinking process. It is influencing, it is deciding outcome of our decisions, our decision makings, right? It is dictating everything. So anybody who is dominant, prominent, within the technology sphere, they are going to alter reality, from virtual reality, they are going to alter the actual reality, real reality.
So just to add one thing into it, we missed this. We spoke about social media, and what about these companies who are managing these portfolio, managing this entire social media, Meta?
They want more influencers to
Yes,
be created, no?
right. And sir, the
I think back of my mind, I'm thinking they identify such profiles,
Yes.
and then they
Push
promote
it.
them, push them so that they become more prominent. I think
Who talks controversial.
anyone, I
Uh,
think they promote them.
because that is how. So I think there is a documentary on Netflix.
And also Elon Musk, for example, I
I
used
think
to,
he's a social media plus entrepreneur.
he owns the thing, right? I don't follow him. Like, I used to follow him. I used to really like him, and he's still brilliant. He's the genius, right? Nobody can beat that. So he anticipates, think far ahead of anyone living right now, and he creates stuff. In that aspect, huge respect for him. The moment he entered politics, there is nothing wrong in entering politics, but outrightly influencing using your own platform. So then I kind of pissed off and started unfollowing. Even after unfollowing him, my time I don't visit his profile. I don't search for him. I'm not doing that for at least 1 month. At least if I just open 20 tweet, there are 5 to 6 Elon Musk. He pushes his tweets to each and everyone that is there on Twitter. He's not just influencing US, it is influencing the world. He interfered in Canada. So he commented about Italy. He commented about something in, I think, Venezuela. Right. So he also commented about Ukraine or something. So he's, I think something has gone into his head that he thinks he's the emperor of the world now.
Sir, Israel PM Benjamin Netanyahu.
Super influencer in the world right now is the Elon Musk.
So just
Bap of all influencers.
he is the Bab of all influences. And just to tell you, sir, that the Prime Minister of Israel, I think, recently called him and was talking about hostages with him. Like, just imagine with him. Obviously, he's very close to Donald Trump, sitting with Mar-a-Lago and everything. But I think personally, I feel, sir, he invested on the right horse, and right now he's reaping the result of it.
Creative genius.
Creative genius. So I hope obviously these all these will become, Sir is saying, they'll become power brokers. They are already on that part when we talk about social media influencers. So they might be disrupting. Good things will also happen. And in this 30-40 minutes of our discussion, we've gone from in lengths and details to understand what are currently social media influencers are doing, what can be the future, how is the churning of society happening in our country, their influence on India, the influence of Elon Musk, and what should we expect in the future. So I hope you did like this session, and we importantly want that you put your views and comments, and you can definitely disagree with both of us because we are not experts, and as said by Sir in many previous sessions, that we are just sharing our views. We are not perfect, we are just sharing our views, and you can definitely disagree. Please mention in the comment section if you do, if you have a different or differing point, or probably your thought process is different. Thank you very much for joining. Anything you want to say to our audience, sir, before I close up?
We both are not trying to become influencers.
Yes, that is also true. Thank you very much, and bye bye.